health emergencies can be a great distraction to your company's activities. But with Apex Health Insurance, your employees will have immediate access to quality health service for themselves and their dependents. Ensuring your employees and their dependents to get them back to work healthier and stress-free like they never left. Think health, think Apex.
Financial protection for yourself, businesses, and properties remain a few of the major concerns for hardworking people like you. That is exactly why having insurance is so important. Don't we all wish for the ability to keep our expenses at the bare minimum while attaining maximum benefits? This is where KEK as your insurance broker comes in. Unfortunately, there is a common misconception that hiring a broker will drive up your insurance costs. This is just a myth. Let's debunk some of these insurance myths, shall we? 1. You have to pay insurance brokers for their services. That's not true. You do not have to pay any special fees when you use KEK as your insurance broker. Broker fees are fixed in premium quotations, and this is the way it is done all over the world. In fact, we rather work to reduce the premiums you have to pay due to our world-class negotiation skills. 2. You can do a better job managing your insurance. We at KEK Insurance Brokers are specialists who have in-depth understanding of the insurance market. We are experts in the insurance business, and we pass on this extensive knowledge and expertise to the client through competitive pricing, claims management, and the general administration of policies. So get insured today. Let KEK be the one to help you. You can reach us via social media handles or visit our offices at KEK Insurance Broking House, number 40/41 Senchi Street at Aviation Road, Airport Residential Area, Accra.
Okay, hello, and welcome to another insightful episode of the SEDAT HR Digest. I'm your host, and I'm excited to have you join us on episode 110 of the SEDAT HR Digest. I am Felicia Aye. My name is shown there, so you got me there. So, today, what is today all about? Today, we are diving into a topic that is gaining more and more attention in the HR space. What is this topic actually? We are looking at employee well-being. But for us here at SEDAT HR, we do not just want to talk about employee well-being. We want to give it a 360-degree approach. Ladies, when 360 is mentioned, we start turning our bodies. You know that one. So today, let's give employee well-being a 360 degrees. So then, what are we doing? We are looking at a 360-degree approach to supporting the employee as a whole. So, if you join us today, you are at the right place. Some takeaways today will be that we will be exploring why employee well-being is more than just a trend. Again, the common mistakes organizations are making. And then we will also look at how businesses should do this differently. And to do this, we have just the right person. I don't know if you're ready to meet our guest. Because of his, professional background and then the technical and practical skills he has as far as the topic today is concerned, we couldn't have chosen any better person than this man. Whom am I talking about? He is a certified employee assistance professional and the head of clinical services at Families in Action. He is passionate about employee well-being and workplace mental health. And we are honored to have him here today. He is currently based in the United States of America. You can't wait to hear the name, right? Please welcome with me, Dr. In B. Kwamina, our guest on the show today. Yeah. Please use some emojis and let's welcome our guest. Dr. In, you are so much welcome to the HR Digest.
Thank you so much, Felicia. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Okay, so then you say that Felicia is talking too much, guys. But please, before we start, I need to remind you that the almighty HR conference, the number one HR conference ever, is happening on the 27th of March. Please, we are in March. Before we were saying March, but March is no longer far away. We are in March. We are talking about 25 days more to go. So please, if you've not registered, kindly do that. This time, we are taking you all the way to the Western region. Tardy for hard. We have tardy people joining us. We are coming your way. So we will take you to Takoradi at the Western Atlanta Hotel. And we are going to treat the topic from policy to practice, integrating employee well-being into HR management for a motivated and highly productive workforce. You know, see that HR. We know they just talk. We show they talk. And when we talk, we show working. So please come, all of these wonderful men and women who are known for their expertise are going to speak to us on this topic. And today, we are fortunate to have one of them being our guest here. Dr. In. So now that I am done with my short, was it even short? All right. Intro. Can we just take them on a ride? As far as the topic for discussion for today is concerned, employee well-being, a 360-degree approach. So please, let me ask you my first question. Dr. In, employee well-being is a hot topic. Nowadays, employee well-being has become a very hot topic in HR today. When we hear employee well-being, every head is turning towards an HR. So please, what is actually driving this growing focus? Can you?
Yes, Felicia.
Yes, Dr. In.
So one of the things that we're realizing now is organizations are seeing that employee well-being is not just a nice to have benefit. And we kind of mentioned earlier talking about the trend that we're seeing now, but they are now seeing that employee well-being is a key driver to employee productivity. It's a key driver to employee retention and, of course, overall business success. We are seeing a rise in workplace stress with employees. Employees are faced with greater economic pressures. The workforce itself has evolved, even as we've seen with the pandemic. We are seeing new workforce expectations, and with all of these things that we're seeing now, HR professional, HR leaders are actually seeing the need, or in some cases, being forced to take a proactive role and a proactive look at what employee well-being is, but more so from a holistic point of view. Organizations, it's really about being successful. It's about activity, and in order for an organization to be successful, they have to remain competitive. So that's one of the big factor that's driving this trend that we're seeing, and why employee well-being it's really a hot topic. Today's workforce is facing these unique challenges, as I said, economic instability, work-life balance struggles, high levels of stress. So employees really need to have some support system in place that can address these needs.
Wow. Wow. I'm just liking it. Just right now, like my eyes are widely open listening to the insight you are giving us. So at the end of the day, this trend is happening because for productivity to be seen, employee well-being is a key point in there. Wow. So, Dr. In, if that is the case, today we said we are doing a 360 degrees approach. So the term 360 degree approach, it actually sound quite comprehensive. It sound quite comprehensive. So can you break it down for us? What does this actually entail?
Okay, so when we think of a 360 degree approach, it really looks at employee well-being from every single angle. We're thinking about um, not just the physical health that we're familiar with, but also it addresses the mental well-being of employees, their emotional well-being, their financial well-being, and as well as their social well-being. We have to remember that employees bring their whole selves to the workplace, right? Years ago, we would have had this adage, you leave your problems at home. When you come to work, you come to work. But that is not the reality. Persons are bringing their entire selves to the workplace. So therefore, organizations need to support their employees in these multiple dimensions of well-being, as I said, the financial, the emotional, the physical, of course, but the other areas in terms of social well-being as well. So now we're seeing, when we're talking about that whole 360 degrees, it's, as I say, it's from at every angle. So we now have looking at leadership behaviors, we're looking at workplace culture, we're looking at financial wellness, mental health, career progression, social support, all these things that we are looking at that would obviously help employees to thrive, to do well, and of course to be more engaged.
Wow. Wow. So we are just looking at the totality of the well-being of an employee. So we are not limiting it to just um, what we need from them for them to do their job. Maybe the tools they need, maybe the skill they come to the work with. But even if they are not at the workplace, whatever concerns them also concerns us, if I got you right.
Correct. Correct. There's definitely a need for us as employers to pay attention to these things, to pay attention to the multiple dimensions of employees and not just look at one aspect. We can't just look at, okay, we do health screening, we make sure that persons are physically well to be able to execute the work, but we also have to take into consideration again the other factors that affect their well-being. It's difficult for an employee to give 100% on the workplace when they are experiencing relationship challenges at home, childcare concerns. Find it difficult to make ends meet in terms of financially. So, as employers, we now have to take notice of those things and ensure that we are creating a supportive work environment that treats with the multiple dimensions of employee well-being.
Wow. I'm liking this, and I'm sure our audience are with me. So please, in case you just joined us, this is the HR Digest show. And then today, we are looking at the topic employee well-being, a 360-degree approach to supporting the employee as a whole. Yes. So, and please, I want to remind you that the chat boxes, the comment boxes, they are for you. As we are going on, if you have anything to ask or say, please feel free and then put in there. And then we will come and have a look and have your questions read out for our dear Dr. In to address them. Right. So that said, Dr. In, I want us to go to our third question for the afternoon. So, is employee well-being solely an HR responsibility? Because whenever employee well-being is mentioned, all eyes are looking at HR. Or should other leadership across the organization be involved? Or this is just HR? Please help us understand.
Yeah, so certainly. So when we think of employee well-being, it goes far beyond HR. Well-being is a leadership issue. Well-being is a business strategy issue. Well-being is a cultural imperative. So everyone, and he talked about leadership, everyone in terms, as we call it, the C-suite executives, managers, supervisors, and I would even go as further and say all employees in an organization play a role in fostering a supportive, thriving workplace for employees. And again, it's not just HR responsibility. So rather than have uh, strict policies as it relates to physical health, we now need to start looking at work-life balance, work-life integration, giving employees the opportunities and the support and resources that they would need to be able to treat with their concerns and their issues. So it's really an issue or concern that everyone has to be mindful of. If we have to say who has more of a responsibility than the other, I would say across the board leadership, because leadership have to lead by example. Leadership have to set the tone to create that workplace culture that supports a supportive work environment.
Wow. Wow. So, I mean, is this really out there? Are leaders even aware that they have a role to play in this? And how do we create this awareness for them to get involved?
That's a very interesting question in terms of are they aware?
Yeah.
I would answer. I would answer in this case. We all have a responsibility for all our stakeholders. We all have a responsibility for creating the type of environment. So, if there's a case where persons are not aware, we pull on that willingness to be able to see the importance of employee wellness and therefore putting things in place to be able to address that. So, because we all have that responsibility, we now have to go beyond um, the basics. When we think about employee well-being, we have to, instead of thinking about employee well-being as a HR program or an organization initiative, but realizing that it has to be embedded in the culture and it has to be part of leadership practices.
Okay. All right. Dr. Kwame, now we are really getting a lot of insights from this session, and we are grateful to have you here. So, please let me once again remind you that this is episode 110 of the SEDAT HR digest. And please let me also let you know that this is just a teaser because this particular topic is going to be treated at the conference. Yes, at the HR conference. So if you haven't registered, so if you look at how it's going, if this is just the teaser, then you can just imagine what the main thing is going to be like. Yes. So maybe you are just joining us, you are not on any of our pages, or you are not following us online. So the conference I'm talking about, you are lost. Let me quickly give you a sneak peek into what is going to happen at this conference. So it is timed the SEDAT HR Conference 2025. Yes, that there you have the flyer giving you more insight to it. So this event is actually going to happen at Takoradi, the western region of Ghana. And then we are going straight to Takoradi this time around. The topic or the theme that we are going to be treating at this program or this conference is going to be from policy to practice. In fact, for the policies, we have them, but practicing them has been the issue. So we are looking at integrating employee well-being into HR management for a motivated and highly productive workforce. And the date is Thursday, 27th March 2025, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The good news is that we are not just looking at in person. So if your schedule is such that you can't travel to Takoradi, good news, you can still join us virtually and have the same impact. Yes, we have a lot of strong men and women who have control over the topic coming your way. We have our dear Joshua Mototi. Please forgive me if I don't mention the names well. Forgive me. Yes, we have our dear Emmeline Date. We have Dr. Inbi Kwamina, the one who is currently engaging us and giving us all that wonderful ideas. We have Tarek and the Soki, forgive me for the wrong name pronunciation. We have Felicia Opoku Folice. Yes, we have Kwame Afre and we have Hussein Abugui. I mean, all of these people, when you want to go and then check out about them, who they are, and then the industry they are in and then the things they are handling, you will agree with us that SEDAT HR is bringing you something for free. I mean, the money you are getting is really, really free. The money you are paying is not much. If you were to look for them, you wouldn't get there. So please make it a point to join us. All right. So let's go back to our discussion. Let's go back to our discussion. That was just by the way. In case you are just joining us, we are treating employee well-being 360 degrees approach to a total employee well-being. All right. So, Dr. In, let me ask you my fourth question for the afternoon. Many companies, especially at this part of the world, claim to care about employee well-being. But what are some of the common mistakes you see organizations making? Could you point some of them out for us?
Certainly. So one of the common misconception is thinking that employee well-being is only about the physical health. So we pay attention to whether the organization includes insurance, health insurance, medical insurance benefit for employees or not. They may make attempts at healthcare screening, or in some instances, they would look at having perks as it relates to free gym membership, or they may make the effort of having a gym on site in the organization. But when we think of employee well-being, it really goes beyond that. True well-being includes or focuses on financial security. It focuses on mental resilience. It focuses on career growth and development for employees. It even focuses on that supportive work environment. And even when we think about another in terms of the misconceptions, that when we think about a supportive work environment, is making sure that the environment is or persons have the tools that they need to do the job. A supportive work environment goes beyond that. We think of psychological safety and a sense of belonging. When we think of psychological safety, we're talking about employees feel comfortable expressing their ideas. They feel comfortable asking questions. They feel comfortable taking risk without fear of punishment, embarrassment, being judged, or retaliation or anything like that. So that's when you think of that creating that supportive work environment, is that psychological safety. It also speaks to a sense of belonging, where employees feel valued, they feel included, and they feel connected to their coworkers, connected to the members of the team, connected to the organization. So it really talks about that feeling of being accepted, respected, and recognized for one's contribution. So again, common misconception that employee well-being is just about that physical health and maybe the gym membership, but not realizing that it goes beyond that. And of course, their misconception of what supportive work environment is. It really speaks to psychological safety and a sense of belonging for employees.
Because this is actually a teaser, I'm actually holding myself back not to ask too.
Yes.
I'm really
Let's
holding
save it.
myself back.
Make sure they attend the conference to get more of the information.
Yes, Dr. Connor, I'm really hoping not to go too deep. Yes, because well, let me just maybe on a lighter note, let me ask this. The part where you say allow employees to take risk. I'm looking at an employee trying to use the organization's money for some sort of investment because they think they are taking risks of the company. I mean, that is also a form of taking risks. If this is supposed to be encouraged, we are going to have issues. So
This is what we're going to do with Felicia, is that we're going to save that question and make sure that person's show up for the conference so they get the answer to that. How do we treat with that perception of risk?
I really agree. So it means that at the conference, oh my God, all this kind of questions, any kind of question can be asked for you to get the insights you need. I can't wait for 27th March to come. I really can't wait. Wow. Okay then. Dr. Dr. Kwame, now let's look at the fifth question. So with this 360-degree employee well-being we are talking about, what's one of the big misconception about this that one? I just want you to take just one. I know there are a lot. I want you to focus on one of the misconceptions that you would want organizations to unlearn. Because, or you can look at, we are in Ghana, looking at Ghana, maybe per studies and all the trends, there is one thing that every organization is doing. And as far as that is concerned, they feel employees are well off. Could you please help us unlearn that thing right now?
Right. So again, going back to the thinking of physical health or seeing employee well-being as being one-dimensional. So, for example, because they only focus on physical health, you see sick leave that's there. In some organizations, they have casual leave. So they factor in those things, or they take into account seeing the need to have health insurance for employees. Again, because the focus is so much on physical health. But that misconception is not realizing that it's more than just that. We have to be able to look at the other areas. So even when we think about let's say the mental health piece, in terms of recognizing that is just as important as well. They need to be able to, let's say, invest in an employee assistance program, which would obviously help employees reduce stress, reduce anxiety, and things that they may face from life stresses. So when we think about that misconception, is again not just thinking about that physical health piece, but going beyond that, recognizing that when companies invest in that holistic well-being of employees, you're able to see low absenteeism, you're able to see increased engagement, overall you're able to see an increased productivity. So as I say, it's recognizing that when we focus on the holistic piece of employee well-being, it does have an impact on business performance.
Okay. All right. I really agree with you. The sick leave thing, health insurance, we feel employees are supposed to be okay. So, Dr. Kwame, now in that case, if organizations really want to rethink their approach to employee well-being, I mean, it looks like it's kind of shaky, really shaky, because we are used to a particular trend We are used to a particular policy, a particular idea, and now maybe fine. We have you, fortunately, to help us understand that we were towing the wrong path and we want to come back to get this done and done the right way. What's one key change we could start with? Yeah.
I can even do better. I can even think about two challenges in terms of things that we can do differently. One, let's stop treating well-being as an initiative or a program and
Mm.
start embedding it into our leadership, into our policies, and our everyday decision making. We have to start by creating a culture of well being. We have to start by encouraging open conversations. We have to look at training managers to support employees' wellness. We need to look at introducing, where possible, because there are obviously limits, introducing flexible work policies. I talked about earlier psychological safety and sense of belonging. So these are some of the things that we can obviously look at. And then two, we want to be able to shift from a reactive approach to a more proactive one. So rather than only responding when an employee is stressed or experiencing burnout, let's look at building that workplace culture that prevents these issues from happening in the first place. And when we talk about a workplace culture, we're really talking about an environment that supports, or rather where employees feel valued, where employees feel supported, where employees feel empowered in all aspects of their life: the physical, the mental, the social, the financial, as I say, all dimensions of well-being.
Wow. This is really, really good. I have a question to ask, but let me quickly talk about one thing and then we will come back because we have had very, very good conversation so far. So far, we are really, really digging deep, and I really, really want more. I really, really want more. But we want to remind you that at SEDAT HR, we have a whole lot of things happening. And then maybe I spoke about the conference, and you are asking me who are the partners, who are the sponsors. Of course, with this kind of conference going on, we have some big people backing us and then some people partnering us. So the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GNCCI, is our partner for this. It's not just them. Also, we have the HR Network Africa and Strategic HR Professionals, that is SHRP, also being our partners. That notwithstanding, we have Okante Studios also being our partners, and we have GH Extractive also partnering us. So please, this is big. Talking about sponsors, we have Apex Health Insurance and KEK Insurance Brokers sponsoring us. This is really, really big. Please, you can't miss this for anything. Maybe all you have heard or all you know about SEDAT HR Consult is that on every Sunday afternoon, we host a show and then bring very important topics to digest to help HR practitioners. That is not all you should know. Let me tell you something about SEDAT HR Consult you didn't know. SEDAT HR Consult offers a whole lot of services. Let me mention some. HR support, advisory, and outsourcing is one of the things SEDAT HR Consult is known for. Two, talent acquisition and management. This is also a service provided by SEDAT HR Consult. Staff outsourcing. SEDAT HR Consult does this as well. Compensation and benefits management. SEDAT HR has got you. Employee engagement, you have no problem. We've got you. Training and development, oh, please look our way. Payroll, outsourcing, very, very, very well done by SEDAT HR Consult. Recruitment and executive search, this is what we do. Events management, ushering services. In fact, I can continue to talk about this till the end of the show. But I mean, that's not the only reason we are here, but it's important that you know. All this we mentioned, you will need one of them, definitely. There is one of these services you need. Don't look elsewhere. Let me give you a number to call. Just reach out to us on 0244 629 245 or 059 140 5555. Please, the fives are four. In case I confused you, they are just four. So please, or follow us on all social media platforms. See that HR Consult. Follow us, chat us, and then gain more insight about us. So that was just by the way. Let's come back. I see a lot of people engaging us in the comment box, but don't worry. Please keep the comments coming. Please keep the questions coming. And then we are coming right back to take all of them. And then Dr. Kwamina is here for you to answer all those questions. But remember, this is just a teaser. So we are not giving more than a teaser. Thank you. All right. So Michael Kisi says he's watching us from Kumasi. Michael is on Facebook and he has joined us. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. And I see Israel Tetewayo also joining us from Facebook, and he says that great, I'm enjoying this. Oh yes, this is just a teaser. Israel, please register for the conference for you to enjoy more. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So, Dr. In, I want to ask one question, and this is it. Please, it looks like the total employee well-being, the 360-degree approach, is for big organizations because if we are looking at taking every employee and then looking for them intrinsically, extrinsically, like their total well-being. And I'm just starting my organization. I'm just so small. Does this also have to do with me? Or we should leave this for just the bigger organizations, those who have been in existence for decades? Please, if you think I'm part so small, I do this.
Yes, so the whole idea of taking care of the employee or focusing on the employee's overall well-being is a responsibility for every single person, regardless if it's a small organization, large organization, a not-for-profit, a small startup, as long as you have other employees in your employer, even yourself as an employee, even if you're a sole business owner, you want to be able to pay attention to your overall well-being and what support services are put in place. Now, the big question that persons have, especially for small startup organization, they're looking at the larger organization and saying that, okay, well, I don't have it in my budget to be able to do that. So it's not so much in terms of the budget, because there are things that we can do with little or no cost that can still have a significant impact. So it really starts with creating that culture of well-being. So you have one employee. How are you going to go about creating that culture of well-being? How are you going to lead with empathy? How are you going to encourage open conversation with persons with your team where they feel safe, they feel valued, they feel appreciated? If there's a case where you yourself need some additional tools with the internet, there are countless free resources that are available to equip you and upskill you in terms of understanding and knowing how to support employee wellness. So again, there are tangible things that you can do that would allow for creating that workplace culture. And again, that culture that supports employee, that empowers employee, that makes employee feel valued. So again, 1 employee, 2 employee to 10,000 employees is the same concept regardless.
Okay, that is great. Dr. Kwame, I see me, I'm a Christian, so I will not lead you into temptation because with well, what you just said, it's like I can hear somebody whispering into my ears. Can you give us a sample of the things small organizations can do? But I know that is for the conference. So I'll not lead you into temptation. So that the things for the conference, you will not come and say here. So please, if you think you own a small organization and then you want some of the tips on things you can do that doesn't affect your budget for your employees to still feel that their well-being is at heart, please come for the conference or join us virtually for the conference and you will get all of these and more. I'll not lead you to temptation. I won't. So, okay. All right. So, Dr. Coming up, let me see. We All right. So at this point, I don't want to be the only one asking the questions. Let me go to the chat box. Let me see. I think we have some questions there. Right. I was right. Al Hassan Mohammed Sadat. He joined us on LinkedIn and he has a question. This is his question. Employers are adamant in investing in well-being programs because they want to cut operational costs. My question is it the responsibility of the employer by law to manage the well-being of their worker? So Dr. Kwamina, if you can help Al Hassan for us, is it the responsibility of the employer by law to manage the well-being of their worker?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. So I would say this: the legal responsibility of employers to manage employee well-being, it varies by countries and of course by jurisdictions. So of course you'd have to look at it in terms of the employment law. However, in many regions, employers have a duty of care to ensure a safe and healthy work environment, which obviously includes an aspect of well-being. So when we think of some of the common legal responsibilities, we're familiar with occupational health and safety laws. So in many countries, there are workplace safety laws requiring employers to provide safe and hazard-free work environment. So we know that those things exist even with the Labor Act here in Ghana. So we know that there are things that are in place to be able to provide that support, but overarching, it's that duty of care that employers would have. There's also some jurisdictions would go a step further and recognize work-related stress and mental health as part of an employer's responsibility, and they would have built-in policies where that is concerned. Some of them would make reasonable accommodations. We're talking about fair wages and work hours. So there are aspects of legislation that speaks to employee well-being, but again, it speaks to it in certain areas, not necessarily holistically. So when you speak to it with regards to that physical health piece, some aspect of finance, but beyond that, not necessarily. We obviously have seen a huge step with the introduction of employee assistance and wellness programs taking place. But at the same time, if it's not a company that it's not a multinational company that follows certain compliance and certain guidelines, outside of that, it would be employers themselves having their own duty of care to ensure safe and healthy workplace. And again, making sure that they take into consideration the employees' well-being.
Right. This is awesome. This is really, really awesome. Al Hassan, please, let's hear from you again. Your question has been answered. Please come and say something. Thank you so much, Dr. Kwamina. In fact, the teaser is really teasering. We are enjoying. We are really, really enjoying. So this is HR Digest. we are looking at employee well-being, a 360-degree approach to, looking at the employee well-being as a whole. We have been here for a while. Why don't we take a short break? And then when we're back, we are going to continue the conversation. While we are at it, you can leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you. Don't go anywhere.
Health emergencies can be a great distraction to your company's activities. But with Apex Health Insurance, your employees will have immediate access to quality health service for themselves and their dependents. Ensuring your employees and their dependents to get them back to work healthier and stress-free like they never left. Think health, think Apex.
Financial protection for yourself, businesses, and properties remain a few of the major concerns for hardworking people like you. That is exactly why having insurance is so important. Don't we all wish for the ability to keep our expenses at the bare minimum while attaining maximum benefits? This is where KEK as your insurance broker comes in. Unfortunately, there is a common misconception that hiring a broker will drive up your insurance costs. This is just a myth. Let's debunk some of these insurance myths, shall we? 1. You have to pay insurance brokers for their services. That's not true. You do not have to pay any special fees when you use KEK as your insurance broker. Broker fees are fixed in premium quotations, and this is the way it is done all over the world. In fact, we rather work to reduce the premiums you have to pay due to our world-class negotiation skills. 2. You can do a better job managing your insurance. We at KEK Insurance Brokers are specialists who have in-depth understanding of the insurance market. We are experts in the insurance business, and we pass on this extensive knowledge and expertise to the client through competitive pricing, claims management, and the general administration of policies. So get insured today. Let KEK be the one to help you. You can reach us via social media handles or visit our offices at KEK Insurance Broking House, number 40/41 Senchi Street at Aviation Road, Airport Residential Area, Accra.
Okay, so that were our sponsors. If you don't know them, that's what they are into. Kindly patronize them. As you patronize us, you patronize our sponsors as well. Thank you. Okay, so we are back, and I think the field HR has joined us from YouTube, and he says nice. Field HR, thank you so much for joining us. So I think I want to give you all a tip as far as the conference is concerned. Please, one of the best way you can attend this conference is that make sure that your leaders talk to your bosses. Let them register, not just you. They should bring the leaders. They all need this information. So as they are registering, even if they will let you attend in person, the rest of them, they should register the virtual one for them. Let them join virtually so that when you come back and you are implementing, it becomes easier because all of you are on the same level. You have the same information. They understand. Sometimes that's the things HR goes through. They feel we are bombarding them with too many things. But when we go into this kind of conferences with them, and then when we start talking about it, it makes it easy for them to join. Oh, Dr. Kwamina, what do you think?
No, definitely, it's critical because, as I say, it's everyone's responsibility, and sometimes message can be lost through others. So it's really important for you to be there to hear the message for yourself, and then as a team, we now receive this message. Okay, how are we going to make it make sense for our organization? And I think that's where the tweaking would need to take place. It's not necessarily a one size fit all. You take the information, you have to look at the context, what is reasonable, what is realistic, but at least you're starting from the place of seeing that employee well-being is important and you want to adopt that 360 approach. So that's a good start.
That's a good start. So please, we're just giving you a tip. Use it. All right. So we are supposed to close at exactly 5 p.m. and we are really working hard to do that. But at this point, I mean, you've been with us from beginning to this point, our dear audience. If you're joining us from Facebook, if you're joining us from LinkedIn, if you're joining us from YouTube, please, I want you to do something right now. Maybe you just clicked on this link to join the webinar, but you've not followed SEDAT HR. Kindly do that. You see, kindly do that so that it is not just the webinar that we use to give information. There are a lot of things we post on our pages, educative enough to help you in your practice. So kindly subscribe. If you are on YouTube, click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to SEDAT HR so that you get more from us. If you're on Facebook, give us a follow. If you're on LinkedIn, give us a follow. And not just that, too. When you are done, share to other people so that they can also follow us, for them to also enjoy what you are enjoying. So at this point, I want to allow you, whatever question you have, drop it in before we wrap up. There is one last question I have for Doc, and then once we are done with that, we are wrapping up for the evening. So if you have a question, don't say that we didn't give you the opportunity. The opportunity is now. Kindly drop it in there. We will ask for you and get you an answer as well. Okay, thank you. So that said, I see Usman Beidu join us on YouTube. Usman, thank you so much for joining us. Right. So, oh, okay. Usman is joining us on YouTube and at the same time Facebook. Oh, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So he has a question, and he's saying that this, okay, this is a very good program or topic. It has to be done again. Oh, there again is the conference. So, it's okay. Let me finish. For, for example, we need to provide more time to it and ask how we can create a balance between how to prevent employees in taking advantage of the system in our bid to ensure employee well-being. So you would want a session where you can know how to ensure that employee do not take advantage of the system. Um, Whilst we are trying to give them. But Dr. Kwamina, is that possible? Is it possible that some employees will try to take advantage of this initiative to do the organization bad?
I would I say yeah, it is possible, but we start from the place of how are we going about creating that workplace culture, and just as we think about the workplace culture of employee well-being, we also it has to happen in tandem with creating a workplace culture of trust, of transparency, of authenticity, of integrity. So all of these things that we're looking at, if we're able to create a culture of that sense of belonging, then an employee who feels valued, employee who feels that they are making a valuable contribution to the organization, employee who feels that they're being heard, they are less likely to take advantage of a system that is benefiting everyone. So we really have to start in terms of creating that culture and knowing that creating that culture is everyone's responsibility.
Wow. Wow. So it's possible. Usman, you are right. It's possible that some people would want to take advantage. Doc just explained it to us. But as to your ask about us doing this again to elaborate more, for this show, we only do an hour. But because we know you need more than 1 hour for topics like this, that is why we have the conference coming up on the 27th of this very March. I mean, this very, very month we are in March 27th. That is like 3 weeks coming. So please register. There is a link. Use it to register. It is not expensive at all. If you're attending it in person, it's at Takoradi. If it is virtual too, it's possible. Just like you're joining us virtual now, and then you are enjoying, you can join virtually and still enjoy. So please, Usman, we will write your name and give you a call. We will look for you. Yeah, right. That is our numbers also displayed. We will look for you and then also get in charge so that you can please, if you also want to sponsor us, some numbers have been displayed in the chat box. we are very, very open for sponsorship and partnership as far as the conference is concerned. So, Dr. Ian, please, it's like I'm not getting your first name right, so let me go by Dr. Kwamina. Dr. Kwamina, please. I want us to um, actually come to a wrap on the show this evening. But before we wrap up, let's talk about the upcoming HR conference. So when with the HR conference, I just want you to boost our morale. Give us something that will make us feel like if we miss it, we've really missed something bigger. So without giving too much away, why should HR professionals and business leaders not miss your session on employee well-being at the HR conference?
Okay. So for me, I am very much about practical application and less on the theory. So at the conference, I will be exploring practical, high impact strategies, and again, taking into consideration of budget, taking into consideration of the different industries, but again, high impact strategies that organizations can implement immediately to create a workplace where employees don't just survive, but they thrive. So again, it goes back to how are we going to create this workplace culture that supports this holistic employee and their well-being. So more to come. Again, today was just some teasers, but definitely know that some practical applications and information will be shared at the conference.
Woo! I can't wait for the conference. I mean, I just can't wait because there's a lot to take away, a lot that money can't buy. These are knowledge that will live with you forever in your practice. You pass on and pass on and pass on. So please, you cannot miss it at all. You will agree with me that this has been such an insightful discussion. It has been. And we keep talking about the SEDAT HR conference because there you are getting the full package. This was just a teaser. It was just a teaser. But at the conference, Dr. Kwamina himself is there. He's going to give practical ways, deeper things that you need for you to excel at employee well-being. Remember that you yourself, outside being an HR, you are an employee too. So that well-being, you also need it. So go and learn. As you are doing for them, you're also enjoying. Please. So please attend this conference. You don't have an excuse. So the only thing we have going on is not just the conference. Let me quickly remind you that SEDAT HR conference is organizing a practical Excel training for all professionals. Where we are now in the world, if you do not have all that you need for you to be on top of Excel, you are losing. So this is going on, and then the fee is just 1,500 cedis. 1,500 cedis, and it's going to be online. The date is from 10th to 11th of March. We are looking at 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Each day, and it's for all professionals. Please reach out to us to get more information on this. Lastly, we are not just thinking about you professionals. We have something for your kids too. Yes, that is SEDAT HR for you. There is something for your kid between the ages of 6 to 19. 6 to 19. What do we call this? We call this the Kids Leadership Academy. And that is on the 15th of March. So for March, we are bringing you a lot. SEDAT HR is bringing you a lot this March. So your kids, we are looking at weekends and vacations, um, 6 to 19 years of age. And then this is a 6-week program, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day, and courses, models, include critical and creative thinking and digital literacy, study skills, communication and public speaking skills, collaboration and team working skills, writing skills, emotional intelligence for children, and financial literacy, among many more. We want to start with the children now, so that by the time they get to where you are, they know all of these things. And I think this is a good one. Where is this going on? Kumasi office. Yeah, the Kumasi office, Santasi Main Street. Just call us 0244 629 245 or 0243 945 679 or 059 140 and then quadruple four, five. Five. The fives are four. Let me say it that way. You're asking me, is it free? No, it's not free. We have registration amount of 950 cities. This amount includes snack and lunch. Snack and lunch. We also have one without snack. Okay, one with just snack but no lunch, and that is at 750 cities. So you can go for whichever one that you are comfortable with. If you want your child to have their lunch while they are with us, you can do 950. But if you think snacks is enough because you give them lunch to bring to the program, then you can pay 750 and get this for your child. We are so much grateful to you because we couldn't have done this without you. And Dr. Kwamina, it has been a pleasure having you on SEDAT HR Digest. Thank you for sharing this expertise with us. We couldn't have gotten it anywhere better than having you do this for us. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and we would want to meet you in person at the HR conference. So we are coming. So please, when we come, we remind you that we were on your show the last time.
Certainly.
I don't know
Thank you for having me.
if there's something last words you have for the audience, then we would call it a day.
Well, I would say whether you are HR professional, a business leader, or an industry stakeholder, you have the power to reshape a workplace culture that would prioritize holistic employee well-being. The power is in you.
Awesome. Awesome. So Usman Beidu came back to say thank you. We will try and attend. Please try and attend. And Pearl Swatson is saying thank you. Thank you too. So let me use this opportunity to say thank you to all our amazing audience. Thank you for joining us, because if you if you found today's discussion valuable, be sure to follow us for more episodes. Follow us, like I said, all social media handles, follow SEDAT HR. And then see you at the SEDAT HR conference on March 27th. Please don't miss it. Until next time, you do take care of yourself. Bye for now.
Health emergencies can be a great distraction to your company's activities. But with Apex Health Insurance, your employees will have immediate access to quality health service for themselves and their dependents. Ensuring your employees and their dependents to get them back to work healthier and stress-free like they never left. Think health, think Apex.
Financial protection for yourself, businesses, and properties remain a few of the major concerns for hardworking people like you. That is exactly why having insurance is so important. Don't we all wish for the ability to keep our expenses at the bare minimum while attaining maximum benefits? This is where KEK as your insurance broker comes in. Unfortunately, there is a common misconception that hiring a broker will drive up your insurance costs. This is just a myth. Let's debunk some of these insurance myths, shall we? 1. You have to pay insurance brokers for their services. That's not true. You do not have to pay any special fees when you use KEK as your insurance broker. Broker fees are fixed in premium quotations, and this is the way it is done all over the world. In fact, we rather work to reduce the premiums you have to pay due to our world-class negotiation skills. 2. You can do a better job managing your insurance. We at KEK Insurance Brokers are specialists who have in-depth understanding of the insurance market. We are experts in the insurance business, and we pass on this extensive knowledge and expertise to the client through competitive pricing, claims management, and the general administration of policies. So get insured today. Let KEK be the one to help you. You can reach us via social media handles or visit our offices at KEK Insurance Broking House, number 40/41 Senchi Street at Aviation Road, Airport Residential Area, Accra.